Welcome back to Hardball. Let's watch this moment from Senator Arlen Specter's town hall yesterday.
I don't believe this is just about health care. It's not about TARP. It's not about left and right. This is about the systematic dismantling of this country. I'm only 35 years old. I have never been interested in politics. You have awakened the sleeping giant. We are tired of this. This is why everybody in this room is so ticked off. I don't want this country turning into Russia, turning into a socialized country. My question for you is, what are you going to do to restore this country back to what our founders created according to the Constitution?
Joining us now, the woman you just saw, Katie Abram. Katie Abram, I know you're not a regular at this stuff and you don't do it every day, so take it easy. We're just going to go through some simple questions about this. What got you to Senator Specter's town hall? What made you want to go?
Just for sheer frustration. You know, I see all these things being pushed through very quickly. TARP, this health care bill, cash for clunkers, and the frustrating thing to me is that these programs are being funded by me, my husband, our friends, our family. We have a small business, and the amount of taxes we pay out on that, it's ridiculous, and yet they want us to pay more. Or it sounds like they want us to pay more. So that's the root of my frustration. Well, Katie, this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Katie, in the plans that have been discussed so far, the increase in taxation would occur only on families with incomes over $250,000. Would that include you and your family?
Honestly, I'd rather not say. I don't even know. My husband takes care of the bills and everything. He takes care of us, and that's all that matters.
Do you have health? Did you and your family have health insurance?
Yeah, we do have health insurance. We have a health savings account that we pay for ourselves. We have a $5,000+ deductible that basically, in the course of a normal year, we will pay for all of our medical needs out of pocket, doctor's visits. This year's been a little more difficult because my son's had surgery and it looks like we're looking at a second one. We're almost at our deductible, so that's a good thing. But that was a choice that we made. That's what we wanted to do. And I want to be able to keep that choice. I don't want to be forced or slowly coaxed into a single-payer system. I want to have my choice.
Well, do you believe the president when he says, if you like the health care plan you have, as you say you do, you can keep that health care plan? Is that something, when you hear it, you simply don't believe it?
I don't believe it because I heard him say on a quote on television that, it may take 5 or 10 years, but we will move to a single-payer health, or a single-payer.
Katie, he's never said that. He has never said we will move to a single-payer plan.
I heard it on TV. I heard it on TV.
The President of the United States, Katie, the President of the United States has never said it.
This was a couple years.
Oh, yeah,
it was
like
in
years
2002
ago?
or 2000. It was a couple years ago. This wasn't.
Now,
it's not since he's been in office.
Are your parents on Medicare?
No, but they are very, very close.
Okay. So when they cross the line into 65, are they going to not participate in Medicare? Would you tell them, please don't participate in Medicare because it's a single-payer, government-funded system? Have you had that conversation with them?
No, we don't talk politics.
Okay. You said in your statement that you're 35 years old and nothing has gotten you interested in politics before. And what's interesting to me about that is that means you, as an adult, lived through 9/11. You lived through the invasion of Afghanistan, the war in Afghanistan, the first chapter of what became 2 wars in the Middle East, including the Iraq War. You lived through all of that and were not, as you put it, awakened into an interest in politics. How could those things pass through your life like this and not spark any interest in politics prior to the Washington saying, we think we want to help out some people who can't afford health insurance the way you can? Why would this be the thing that wakes you up after you were willing to just ignore politics as we went past 9/11 into Afghanistan, into Iraq?
Sure. I always seem to have faith in the government, and honestly, I didn't really care. I had other things going on, you know, getting married, having children. It wasn't a priority in my life, and you know, I really didn't start even watching the news at all, I think, until maybe 1991, I guess it was, when we first went to the Gulf War. I remember watching CNN with my dad and watching the infrared missiles going across that you could see. And I think to me, I mean, maybe I'm just not that smart, but, you know, it seems like we've kind of been at war since then. I mean, or maybe even before, I don't know. It just always seems like we're having some kind of conflict. So that, you know, whether about wars, I don't know, that just seems commonplace now. I think everybody's just so used to it. But you asked what has woken me up to why I've woken up to get to this point.
Let me just go now to what the question you actually put to Arlen Specter, which was, you said to him, what are you going to do to restore this country back to what our founders created according to the Constitution? Let's just go through a checklist of what you think that would require. I assume that would require repealing Medicare, because that's a single-payer, government-funded healthcare system, which is socialism. I agree with you, by the way, that is socialism. I think it's successful, practical, smart socialism, but it is definitely socialism. So you would want to repeal that, wouldn't you?
I'd hate to have words put in my mouth. I mean, I honestly,
well, the founding fathers did not anticipate Medicare, so we can repeal that, can't we, in order to get back to what you think the founding fathers would have us do?
Yeah, I think a lot of the programs that are in place were not supposed to be
then
here.
Let's repeal them, right? Wouldn't you then want to repeal them? Wouldn't you want Senator Specter to go in and repeal Medicare and repeal Social Security? Because that's actually a piece of socialism that we imported from Germany. Bismarck invented that program. So we should, that is also socialism. I agree with you on that. Again, I think it is smart, practical socialism, but it is socialism. So I guess you'd want us to repeal that.
I'd hate to say yes or no. I mean, you know, yeah. I mean, there are programs in place that, you know, the founders did not want to have here. You know, I know that there are people out there that can't afford health insurance, that can't afford a lot of different things. And, you know, with the founders, they thought and hoped that the goodness of the people would allow the people to take care of those who were doing without. And I know that may seem naive in today's, you know, world. We stayed at a friend's house last night who is, you know, at the other end of the spectrum than what I am. And we've had political debates a million times over. And he thought, isn't it naive that, you know, to think that way? People don't do that anymore. And I said, not everybody, but a lot of people that I know go on missions.
Katie,
they volunteer.
Katie, I assume when you were having that debate in your friend's house, it was a civil debate and no punches were thrown and everybody had a perfectly decent disagreement, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't punch him.
That's the way I think we can discuss this in this country. Katie Abram, thank you very much for doing this today. I know this is not what you do every day, and I appreciate you coming in.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
Up next, a look at two celebrations at the